Greetings to everyone who will watch my video. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Maricel Mahusay from TEP 129, BSED major in English, first year. Many have presented their topics, and now I am going to introduce a new topic which everyone finds interesting. So as I presented in my PowerPoint, I am going to tackle a topic about lesson planning. And I know guys, this is not the first time you heard about this topics. Perhaps all of you are well versed. What is lesson planning? Based from its definition, it is the activity which the teacher performs before the actual lesson takes place. It is the outline of the important points of a lesson arranged in the order in which they are to be presented to the students by the teacher, a first and most important step in teaching. So based from the definition, lesson planning is what the teacher does before entering the classroom for discussion. The outline is kept as a guide for a teacher while discussing. The outline is the important points of a lesson, arranged in order in which they are to be presented to the students. For a successful and effective teaching, planning is the first and most important step. The teacher should know beforehand what to teach and how to teach. He should have a clear aim of the lesson before him and should plan accordingly. He should know how he should introduce and present the lesson and the aids he will make use of. He should also know how to evaluate the lesson in the light of the aim set. So let's refer to this photo. If we try to understand this photo, we can infer that in lesson planning, there are questions a teacher must think as a guide. The questions must be: who am I teaching? What am I teaching? How will I teach it? Do my students understand? So, these questions may help the teachers to formulate a good lesson plans to facilitate quality learning towards her or her students. In order to deepen the discussion, let us define what is a lesson plan. According to the word of Lester B. Stans, lesson plan is actually a plan of action. It therefore includes the working philosophy of the teacher, his knowledge of the philosophy, his information about and understanding of his pupils, his comprehension of the objectives of the education, his knowledge of the materials to be taught, and his abilities to utilize effective material. So, if we talk about an actual plan, it involves the need to do it, the need to perform it, and the need to work it, because it is the duty of every educator to provide extensive learning and to motivate students by expressing or showing their knowledge and expertise towards their profession. A lesson plan is a detailed description of the instructional strategies and learning activities to be performed during the teaching and learning process. So, a lesson plan can help a teacher to clearly understand and ingrain the flow of the lesson. The detailed outline helps to follow each class period. This ensures every bit of the class time is spent teaching new concepts and having meaningful discussion, not figuring it out on the fly or thinking it what to teach on the spot. Because a lesson plan can help a teacher to keep systematic and orderly in the treatment of subject matter. He proceeds on well thought of the definite lines and does not follow hazard and thoughtless teaching. Lesson planning means being prepared. Preparation is the key to success. Lesson planning is a form of preparation where educators basically lay out a plan for students to succeed. Teaching is an art. That's what makes it special. The lesson plan is the canvas and the teacher is the artist. In lesson planning, we can use the J80 format to be our guide. The G represents for the goals, the A for the actions, D for demonstrate learning, and E for the environment. For the goals, it is implies that what do you want students to be able to do, know, or understand by the end of the lesson. On the goals, it is the teacher's expectation of the learning outcomes of his or her students by the end of the discussion. For the action, it means that how are you going to break down the substance of the lesson to help students reach the goal. So an action is the method of delivering the discussion by utilizing teaching strategies and others to achieve the goal. Actions will answer the questions on how the teacher can facilitate the learning in order to achieve the goal set for the students. And to demonstrate learning, how will you and your students know if they have achieved the goal? To demonstrate that learning, it is where you measure the knowledge acquired by your students by planning activities or assessments for them to answer or express their ideas. You may ask them questions or relay their opinions and insights regarding on the topic you have discussed for them. And for the environment, what do you physically need to facilitate the learning? In the environment, it means that or involves the physical. So it means that teacher must also develop a learning environment where students feel motivated to learn within boundaries and expectation to a safe classroom. By modeling and encouraging a safe environment and purposeful rules, students feel motivated to do the right thing and help one another. So while teaching, a teacher must ensure that the environment is safe and peaceful so that the discussion will be thorough and not bombarded. Let's move on to the importance of lesson planning. So how important is the lesson planning? Lesson planning lessons ahead of time means teacher enter the classroom each day fully prepared to teach new concepts and lead meaningful discussions instead of figuring things as they go. Without a lesson plan, students can quickly lose focus and teachers may left scrambling, thinking on what to do next. Lesson planning is mainly on teacher preparedness and teaching. A teacher should not just walk straight into the class without a shield. Parang maihalintulad natin sa mga sundalo na laging handa. Hindi ka pwedeng sasabak sa gera kung wala kang armas. Because unpreparedness may lead to boring discussion, causing a loss of interest in students in the discussion, at mas malala pa na it is very time consuming if you forgot what to do next in your discussion that makes you panic. On lesson planning, the teachers set forth with some definite aims in the view and is conscious of the interest, attitude, and etc. That he is to develop the students through certain activities or some other means. Planning a lesson gives confidence and self-reliance to the teacher, which is the for great value of successful teaching. And the most important thing is it really saves time. And now we are here on the advantages of lesson planning. So Why we use lesson plans? These advantages is according to Dr. Lincoln Gomez and George Louis. The first one is to produce unified lessons. It enables multiple teachers in a course to provide a consistent delivery and message to all the students. The second one is to focus on what students are doing. Means that it provides an opportunity for teachers to think about the types of activities needed to meet the learning outcomes, how long the activities, and how students will be grouped. Number three, to make the learning journey explicit means that to provide an opportunity to identify and make explicit to learners links within course content. Number four, to reflect on one's own content knowledge. It enables the teacher to evaluate their own knowledge of the content to be taught. Number five, to improve teacher confidence. So if that teacher is very prepared, they are so confident while teaching because they know they really did know that they won't forget any single part of the lesson they are going to teach because they already have the guide. It enables the teacher to remain in control of their lesson and keep students on a track. And number six, to make it easier to share practice. It means to enables other teachers to understand how your lessons are sequenced. This is especially important when someone else is filling in for your lessons. So this is also means that you become a role model to other teachers if you practice a good teaching strategy or ways. And number seven is to create a record. It serves as evidence of professional performance and a record of how your pedagogy evolves over time. At the end of the teaching period, it can be motivating to look over your records and see the impact you have watched. So it is so satisfying for for a teacher to know that what is the learning outcomes of her students in her teachings while seeing the record or the scores they got from your activities to let them do. So we are now in the steps involved in lesson planning. The first one is the preparation. The teacher must prepare the students to receive new knowledge, and that knowledge should be linked to the previous knowledge. The preparation is to ensure students is ready to um, receive a new knowledge, and by that we can facilitate that by asking the students what are their thoughts or previous knowledge on the things you are presented to them which regards or related to the topic you are going to discuss with them. The second one is the presentation. Before the presentation of the subject matter, the aim of the lesson should be clearly stated. So you should present the objectives of your lessons towards your students so that it is very clear to them and both of the teacher and students well understood each other and collaborate in order to achieve the goal for the learning. The third one is the comparison or association. Some examples are given to their students and they asked to observe carefully and compare them with other set of examples. And the fourth step is the generalization. In this step, the aim of the lesson is achieved. The step involves reflective thinking because the whole knowledge learned in preparation is to be systematized, which leads to generalization, formulae, rules, etc. through comparisons or associations. This means that the lesson is ended and the preparation is done, and the teacher see the performance or reflect the performance of their students by measuring or knowing the percentage of their learning. And the fifth one is the application. At this stage, the students make use of the acquired knowledge in familiar and unfamiliar situations. In this way, the new knowledge gained by the pupils will become permanent in their minds of the students and will not fade from consciousness soon. This implies that the knowledge acquired by students is long lasting or long term knowledge and can be applied to the real world or the real life situation. The last step is the recapitulation. It is the last step. The understanding and comprehension of the subject matter taught by the teacher can be tested by putting some suitable questions on the topics to the students. This will also help the teacher to find out whether his method of teaching is effective and successful or not. It is where a teacher allows students to ask questions regarding what they don't understand about the lesson. And that wraps up my topic about a lesson planning. And I am open for comments and suggestions so that I can improve the area where I am lacking next time. I am motivated to say that the best thing about being a teacher is that it matters. The hardest thing about being a teacher is that it matters every day. Thank you for watching.